Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I can't believe I'm still picking every game, even though half the teams aren't even in the playoffs, perna. But not as weird as Travis Scott joining Maroon 5 for the Super Bowl halftime show. Which I guess makes sense in that they are successfully combining two very popular artists who produce music that I can't stand. Travis Scott can't even rap without auto-tune. It sounds like he's spitting rhymes through a robot's vagina. And Adam Levine's voice makes me wish I was a robot's vagina. Preferably Rosie from the Jetsons. Anyway, let's review all NFL games for this weekend. Week 16. That's Good Sports. Also, I'm very excited to say this episode is sponsored by Bombfell.com. It's a better and easier way for you to get clothes. That's BOMBFELL.com. Use my link in the description or just go to bombfell.com/thatsgoodsports to get $25 off your first order. I've been using Bombfell because it's the most convenient way for me to get clothes. And there's no obligation to keep all of the clothes that they send you, nor are you locked in with a monthly contract. Bombfell hooks you up with a personal stylist who picks out your clothes for you, like your wife or girlfriend, without the judgment. And then you have the option to swap out any of the items before they ship. They helped me go from thinking this would be a good look for a dinner date with my wife to this. My new look is great for posing in front of the door, upcoming Christmas parties, dinner, and staying warm by the fire. You can customize how many clothing items you receive, and right now, the more clothes you keep, the more money you save at Bombfell. With the holidays, right now is the time to try Bombfell. Shopping is a nightmare. I can't tell you how great it was to get nice, high-quality clothing picked out by somebody else delivered to my door. And you have 7 full days to try on your clothes at home and send them back if you're not 100% happy. Again, bombfell.com/thatsgoodsports for $25 off your first order. Bombfell, open and close. All right, we've got the Washington Redskins potatoes versus the Tennessee Titans. It took Josh Johnson 11 years from when he was drafted to get his first win in the NFL. That is persistence. That's like if it took a guitar player 11 years to get laid after a show, or if it took 11 years for me to get out of my parents' basement. I did it in 10. The Redskins are his 12th team, 14th if you count the Sacramento Mountain Lions, where he was teammates for a year with Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington, and the San Diego Fleet. He could have taken the easy way out and starred in Spike Lee movies, but he did the right thing. I'm proud of that one. The Titans have finally found their identity, and that identity is Derrick Henry is gonna run you the fuck over for 200 yards every week. How are people just now figuring out it's impossible to tackle Derrick Henry? I guess Mike Vrabel should be credited for only taking 2/3 of an NFL season to figure that out, as Mike Mularkey was never able to do. It's time to give the Washington defense the credit they deserve. They are the reason this team is still alive. And to show them that respect, well, I'm still picking the Titans. Maybe John David Washington will remember the Titans too. And for the second Saturday game, it's the Ravens versus the Chargers. The Chargers have come back from huge deficits to win the last couple of weeks, which puts them at a huge disadvantage against the Ravens, who don't score enough points for the Chargers to play from behind. Checkmate, Phil Rivers. Now, people love to talk about how many kids Philip Rivers has, and rightfully so. But we forget that Joe Flacco was one of 6 kids and has 4 kids of his own. It's pretty obvious now that he's doing all of this to honor Philip Rivers, his favorite quarterback. You can even see here that he's trying to copy Phil's throwing motion, which probably is the reason he's on the bench right now. Also, if I told you I had a picture of Joe Flacco with dicks in his hand, this is probably not what you would imagine. I know what you would imagine. I can imagine you imagining it. Now, I think the Chargers win away at home, as Lamar Jackson is the only quarterback who can throw for fewer yards in a game than Philip Rivers has kids. Yeah! 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 We never stop with the Rivers Kids jokes. Never. Yeah! Yeah! Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Dallas Cowboys. I love that when everybody agrees that the Cowboys are back, they go out and score 0 points. I'm sorry, Dallas. Not every game can be on Sunday night. Sometimes you have to play in the afternoon with the poor teams like the Colts. Jerry Jones' son, Stephen Jones, was looking through a gold-plated monocle into the TV booth for Al and Chris. And when he saw some random guys from Fox, he shouted, "I don't like this one bit, Papa. Can we have these men killed?" And then stormed out when Jerry refused to kill them. Or have them killed. He never gets blood on his hands. Well, they've got the Buccaneers this week, who haven't played on Sunday night since I'm guessing John Gruden was there. Unless you count the games that get delayed 2 hours by the torrential Florida monsoons, which is every Bucs game before Thanksgiving. Cowboys will win. Vikings versus Lions. It looks like the Vikings made the right call because after firing John DeFilippo, the offense put up 40 points against the Dolphins. But if firing people is such a good decision, then why did my pool turn Seahawks green when I fired my pool guy? Look, it's the winter. Why the fuck should I pay a pool guy? It's also an above ground pool. The Vikings have to win this game as they are the 6th seed in the playoffs and close the season out against the Bears, who could be playing for a first round bye if the Rams lose. Since Detroit's season ended after they beat the Patriots, I like Minnesota. Falcons versus Panthers. Cam Newton is out for the rest of the season with a shoulder injury, which means we're finally getting the extended Taylor Hanke audition we've all been waiting for. Who is Taylor Hanke? Who the fuck knows? But we'll know Sunday. Well, probably not, because there's no reason to watch this game. Texans versus Eagles. Are we gonna pretend that the Eagles aren't the most dangerous team in the world right now? I know I'm not. I respect them like an animal backed into a corner or an animal backed into a misshapen 89-degree angled corner. Nick Foles' powers don't activate until December anyway, and that's because the cold weather finally shrinks certain appendages to the point that he can actually move around unencumbered. Ever wonder why he's always a statue in the pocket in September? Now I really don't trust the Texans to win this game for one reason. The Patriots will take over the number 2 seed if they don't. Belichick's greatest achievement is not his 5 Super Bowl wins, nor making the world think Tom Brady is a good quarterback, but poisoning his own coaching tree so that none of his disciples could ever succeed without him. Eagles win. Giants versus Colts. Giants head coach Pat Shurmur is trying to convince his players that these last 2 games matter, even though they don't, and was criticized for possibly pushing or hinting Odell Beckham needs to play because Shurmur thinks his injury is BS. December for non-playoff coaches must be what December is like for parents still trying to lie about the existence of Santa Claus to their aging child to keep the magic alive for one more year. The veteran players know it's time to shut it down. Stay healthy. They're like the older sibling who already knows that Santa Claus, like true democracy, doesn't exist. And they too have to pretend these last 2 games matter. So the rookies go out there and risk their health for shitty pay that is a rookie contract. Here's a useless stat. The Giants and the Colts both have exactly 973 tackles on this season. The difference, of course, being 970 of those belong to one player, Darius Leonard, on the Colts. Andrew Luck finally has multiple ways to win games, the defense and running game. I'm picking the Colts and think they will be dangerous if they get into the playoffs. Bengals versus Browns. It's the Hugh Jackson Bowl part 2. Now I know Hugh feels disrespected from how that last game turned out, with Baker Mayfield giving him the cold shoulder and Greg Williams not laughing at his joke. So this week, Hugh is going to turn up the passive aggressiveness up to 11 by leaving sticky notes on the Browns sideline, putting his clothes in a pile on the dryer, and saying, "I ate your leftovers, Baker, because I thought you were trying to diet," and then casually saying, "OU is a pretty good college, especially if you want a long-term career in manual labor." Baker Mayfield doesn't know the meaning of the word passive, though. Part of that stellar OU education, and in response, just sent this photo to Mike Brown, the Bengals owner, with the caption, "The Grim Reaper." Browns. Bills versus Patriots. And just when the Patriots look like the worst that they've looked in years, they get the juggernaut schedule of the Bills and the Jets at home to finish the season. The Patriots are the dad that's worried he can't beat his son in one-on-one basketball anymore, but then realizes his son is still 5'2" and 100 pounds and has debilitating asthma and plays too much Minecraft to post anyone up. Josh Allen has figured out the secret to playing quarterback in the NFL, and that's be faster than everyone and throw the ball further than everyone else. It was the secret for Michael Vick until, his other secrets overshadowed that secret. My secret is I truly believe the Bills will win this game. My other secret, well, I already mentioned the robot thing to start the episode. Packers versus Jets. There's a little too much green in this matchup for my liking. The Jaguars versus Dolphins. I hope the Jaguars win this game just so I can stop paying attention to the Dolphins. Now don't get me wrong, Miami, I am still very grateful for your miracle win over New England. I just don't think you have any business being in the postseason. The one thing I will say is you are extremely balanced this year, Miami. 7-7 on the season, 23-23 under Adam Gase, 66-66 in your last 132 games, 199 in your last 756 games. Many people are saying Adam Gase will be fired, which might be fair. But honestly, I think he deserves one full season with a healthy starting quarterback. Can you blame the guy for not winning with Jay Cutler, Brock Osweiler, and an injured Ryan Tannehill? Actually, if the Dolphins wait to fire Adam Gase until after he gets a full healthy season with Ryan Tannehill, they may eventually beat out Brady and Belichick as the longest head coach QB tandem. Miami will win though, because they have to. Bears versus 49ers. And when you think about it, with prospectors, in 1849, Bears were a real threat to them. Just like they will be this weekend. Rams versus Cardinals. Steve Wilks is about to join a prestigious group of head coaches who were fired after just one season. A group headlined by Cam Cameron and the great Les Steckel. Here's Steve Wilks after he learned he would be hired by the Cardinals. And here's Steve Wilks once he learned he's going to be fired. He's too even keel. That's his problem. This is exactly the game the Rams need to play, and they win. Pittsburgh Steelers versus New Orleans Saint Denis. The Steelers righted the ship with the win against the Patriots. The Saints found their sails again and righted their ship with the win against the Panthers. And now we will find out which team has the rugged George Clooney to lead them through the perfect storm. Oh wait, they fucking die in that ship in that movie. Titanic? No, that ship sinks and they fucking die. I guess either Ben Roethlisberger or Drew Brees, with the victory, will come out of this game like Russell Crowe at the end of Master and Commander, victoriously playing the fiddle, pretending like it's not going to lead to some sort of passionate man-on-man sex at sea. Now the Saints are playing for home field advantage. The Steelers are fighting to stay atop the AFC North with Baltimore breathing down their necks. The Saints had their way with an injured quarterback last week in Cam Newton. Big Ben also dealing with injuries. And even though the Steelers are the more desperate team, I think the Saints beat them. And beat them handily at home. Although I think Juju Smith-Schuster and Alvin Kamara will both have huge games as they prove to the football world once and for all which ship movie is the best. Kansas City Chiefs versus Seattle Seahawks. Trying to figure out who will win this game took me longer than it took the director to cut away from this guy after he stopped talking.
Spot.
Well, I mean, let me jump in. It's real obvious what the move is. If Kansas City would have won...
God, I love cheap productions. Obviously. Who the fuck were those guys, you might ask? I don't know, but they were talking about the Chiefs and Seahawks, so I watched the video. I do like that this woman said Russell Wilson is not elite.
I understand Russell Wilson, he is not some elite quarterback, but he has been playing complete football.
I don't agree with it, but I like that she said it. This is the least must-win game of the week. And it's convenient that it's the last game of Week 16, which means the Chiefs and Seahawks will know exactly how must-winny this matchup is. Both teams are coming off of bad losses. I wish both teams could come off of another bad loss after this game. With the win, the Chiefs clinch the AFC West and maybe the AFC, depending on what happens with the Texans and Patriots. The Seahawks clinch with a win and a loss by the Redskins or Vikings. The Seahawks haven't defeated a top 10 scoring offense this season. Kansas City is number 1, so I'm gonna take KC because, the 49ers beat the Seattle Seahawks last week. And those are all of your Week 16 picks. Did anybody watch this whole video? Does anybody watch all of these picks? Please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Gotta subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, @BrandonPerna. Give Will Keys a follow on Twitter, @WillKeys6. He helps write all of these pick episodes. All the jokes you liked were mine, but all of the filler was Will. Suck it, Will. Just kidding, I love you.